Hello and welcome back to the Mayor's Update, folks. We are here for another exciting episode. It's going to be riveting.
And you can tell it's the first day of summer.
Yep.
We're sitting on a patio.
It is gorgeous. We're here at Caps Off, one of our sponsors for this month.
Yes, we're outside and loving it. And what a great place to do the show for tonight. Looking out over the new Westlake Evan Parks and the mural and in the sunshine.
Yeah, no, it is a glorious day, and hopefully we have a lot more of these in St. Thomas throughout the rest of the summer.
25 more weeks of this.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
I will take that.
Yeah.
I will take that for sure.
New Year's we'll celebrate in a different way.
Yes.
No, we'll get all the way to there. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
A lot of things going on.
Oh my goodness.
This community has been so full this week.
Yeah.
I know you and I were both at the Home Builders and
Summer
Trades
barbecue
last night.
Yep.
At the Elgin the Elgin
Railway
Museum, and full crowd. I mean,
it packed.
It was really
packed.
Quite a great thing to see all of our builders out.
More people came out than our VSP'd.
Well, that's
really I think that was
to see.
It's great. It's usually you have it the other way where you book more and then you have a 10% drop off, and I think we had 10 to 20% more people this time.
And I'm paying more attention to the Elgin County Railway Museum because we've scheduled our wedding there in September.
That's amazing.
And so that was a great setup last night to see how it's set up for that size of crowd, how the distribution of beverages work.
And it's so funny because I was there and I was talking to some people, and it was only their second time. They've grown up in St. Thomas. It was only their second time there.
I ran into 3 or 4 people that had never been there before, and with some young people, because there was a number of young scholarship awards last night that we talked about there, and explained to them why the train ran through St. Thomas from Chicago to Detroit and across Southern Ontario over to New York City. And they were puzzled like that. That's why St. Thomas was the railway city. We had so many railways that ran through there.
Yeah, it's straight shot.
Incredible, right? But what a beautiful, it is a great place to kind of show off who we are, were, and are going to be. It's a great place to do that. So that was fun last night. This morning, over at Format.
Yeah.
25 years.
That's incredible.
Since the Format plant opened.
It semes like it was just yesterday. They announced they were coming, and everyone was very excited.
It in its first couple of months. Bob Hammersley was doing some what you do now. He was the kind of Grayden
the media,
who went out and did filming and did presentations of what new businesses looked like in our community, and we had that first demonstration of hydroforming round pipes into square truck frames, and to see that they're still doing a lot of that, and how great that plant is, and how full it is of employees. They've recently hired over 400 more new employees in that factory. They employ about 1,600 or more. But it was really quite surprising how many people have worked there in the first 25 years, and how little turnover, how many people have been there for 25 years. It was great to meet so many people that have been there from day one or year one in that factory, and the what it has offered St. Thomas from an employment point of view. And we talked a bit about that today in a speech I gave there. How many births were there? How many marriages were there? How many kids graduated? And it's a family at work. And how many kids went off to school or graduated school? And to see the smiles on people's faces as we're talking like that about a great employer in our community. And they're excited too about what we're doing in this community and the growth in our community. So it's great to see industry, giving good employment to people in St. Thomas, and we keep going at Format. Happy birthday, 25 years.
Absolutely. We have a question in from Margaret McKnight, who also says, hi. She says, when is the new hotel going to open? And I believe that's probably the one that's out by the Elgin Center.
I did hear yesterday, and it wasn't maybe official news, but I heard yesterday September is probably their opening date.
Excellent.
So I'm glad we didn't wait off for
your wedding,
Preston
for that
Brown
space
wedding
there.
at there. We might not have done it in time.
Yeah.
So great place for hockey tournaments and stuff this winter, and so the hotel will be open before we get to the hockey season at here in St. Thomas. Well, great news today too. Hockeyville, Craft Hockeyville,
NHL.
The NHL game is coming to us on September 27th.
I love it.
And it's West Elgin's hockey has won this and have asked St. Thomas to use the Joe Thornton Center, and we're going to we're more than happy to help them do it. We want it to be West Elgin centered. We want as many people from that area who won this and how hard they worked to make it happen here at this game. But Toronto Maple Leafs against Buffalo
Right.
on September 27th. I'm not sure we could have done any better for our area. So, look, we'll supply you with a Facebook site that you will be able to go to talk about tickets. I expect that by the time we give everybody out that way that needs a ticket, there will be very few left.
Yeah.
But what a great honor for, again, this putting St. Thomas on a map, telling people that the Kraft Hockeyville game is in St. Thomas at the Joe Thornton Center.
And they consider it worthy of an NHL game. That's pretty awesome.
And we always have. And so fantastic to see that coming. That's made us move off a little bit. We were planning a Leaf alumni against the CMHA.
Yeah, a classic.
Canadian Mental Health Association, our police force hockey game in the fall. We're going to move that probably into the spring now.
Yep.
To make this all work at the Joe Thornton Center. So perfect. Nothing but more good news. I just shared with you before when on air. I did a couple more interviews this week with national press about St. Thomas and what we're doing and how we're growing. It's really, boy, we found our way.
I love it. We're on the map.
Also, this yesterday morning, we've now set up, Josh Morgan and I, the mayor from London, a monthly phone call, and we kind of save up and talk to each other once a month about what each municipality is doing, how we can help each other with many things. Mayor Morgan and I talked a lot about transit between London and St. Thomas, and we're both a bit frustrated about getting it going and getting it working. But be patient, because we've got to find somebody to backstop the cost in case it doesn't make money,
which it rarely does.
We believe it can, but we want to think that way. So we're setting up AMO, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, is in London this year in August. And Mayor Morgan and myself are trying to meet with the minister there to make sure we can finish this before we get to the school year this year.
Another topic is early childhood education. There's a big push from the city of St. Thomas and their childcare facilities and their services to have more early childhood educators in St. Thomas. I think they're looking to fill about 750 spots.
Well, we're looking behind us at a new daycare center here that the city helped fund. And, it's another one of those pieces that we often say it's not so much a city function to provide daycare. It's a city function to help daycares exist and be trained and get going. We've built this, and we found now someone to run it. So these spots will be open, and that's more. But truly, we need that many more. We really do. And in talking with Volkswagen, and we're having another large meeting with all of the groups about that this next week. We've got to find a way to increase childcare in our community that isn't just very expensive municipal built daycares, perhaps more home daycare, and smaller daycare centers, and more institutions that are already running daycares, expanding that, and perhaps even the school system becoming a great part of that too. But all of that has to be talked about. We've got to get there. We have to.
And I helped produce 2 videos, and those 2 videos, they were talking about 2 different ways. Like, you're talking about the home child care, which is facilitated through Elgin Home Child Care here in St. Thomas and Elgin County. And it's a great way for someone to earn income while looking after children in our community.
It's a great entrepreneurial spirit piece. I mean, for those of us that have been our own bosses for our life, think, why don't more people do that? Just take it on and take a business of your own, and you'd be surprised how much part of running a home daycare can be a financial success to you, but also how much of your house also becomes part of your income, and therefore a way to pay some of it.
And what I didn't realize is how much support they provided.
So
if you have a sick day, they'll come in and they'll actually look after your children for you, so you don't have to send them back to your parents. You don't have to take a day off.
You can do all of that, and certainly the training about how to do it. And,
they'll provide it, make sure it's
how
safe.
To provide the product, whether it's high chairs and whatnot.
They'll provide high chairs. They'll provide toys. There's different services. There's grants they can help you get, and there's a whole support network that you don't get if you're just doing it on your own. So it's a fantastic, especially if you're new to the community. This is a great opportunity to open up a child care facility. If you have, a child of your own and you're looking after them.
Child of your own, and you want to stay home and be a stay-at-home parent, and yet then bring in 2 or 3 other children and collect what the huge amount is for that now.
You can make your own hours, and they do all your, like, Elgin Home Child Care does all your paperwork for you. So they bring the parents.
Every part of the business.
It's incredible. It's really, really cool. So I want to talk about that a little bit.
Well, there's another one this week that's
Mhm.
like that, but it's the I met with a representative of the Carpenters Union
Oh
that
yeah.
have a very big building out on Highbury near
Yes.
London. But they're really trying to gather as many people as they can into classes to learn how to learn the construction trades.
Mhm.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yes.
We've got nothing but building going on and a lot more of it.
Yeah.
And so even projects like the Tiny Hope project could be helped by having people who are just learning and how to do that. But they will outfit people in safety gear, certainly safety shoes and hats and vests, and then teach them the skills needed to start into the construction trades, of which there's a lot. So we made some connections this week about how to do that, how to get people who currently aren't working to work, right, on at least learning the life skills needed and the construction skills needed to take this on. All of our builders, those I talked to last night about it, all said, send 15 of them my way tomorrow. Right?
Oh,
it's
that
kind of
there's another
need
boom
in our
happening.
community. So, and this is not, I'm not trying to be sexist, but this is not a men's only business anymore. We saw last night at the building trades piece last night how many women there are involved in this now
and running the businesses
and being an integral part of the construction or development business or the suppliers thereof. And so we can do it. We can do it. We can do more of it.
Hey, we've got a shout out for the new mini putt that's opened up
over
by Pinafore. It's called the Putting Zoo.
The Putting Zoo, right? Yeah, I was mispronouncing that a little bit, but the Putting Zoo is now open. Looks fantastic. I've not been yet.
Love
Wasn't
the
able to go on their first day, but it looks quite unique, right? For a summertime or
I love the
weather.
look of the greens.
Yeah, looks really good. Of course. Our one in the Elgin Center is still going strong too, and so
there was some chatter about accessibility,
indoor, outdoor, whatever one you like. Please, right, make it work.
Yeah, and if you're looking for an accessible one, go to the one that's in the Elgin Center.
Right, absolutely. Or hey, a couple times a week where the mini golf doesn't hurt you, you can go two places.
That's right.
It's okay.
Right. I think it's fantastic. I remember playing mini golf as a kid, and now it's coming back, and I love that idea. Oh, speaking of which, we were just up in Montreal, Jess and Lily and I. And on our way back, we stopped at the Big Red Apple. They've got free mini putt there.
Oh.
If you just have to go, you could buy some pies, get some other stuff, and free mini putt.
I tell a lot of funny stories about the Big Apple.
Oh, yeah?
It was halfway from St. Thomas to Ottawa.
Yeah.
So when I used to drive, that was kind of where I would stop and get out and walk around a little bit. Of course, you can't walk around at the Big Apple without going and buying an apple pie.
Yeah, it's pretty hard not to.
Always full intent that the apple pie was going to my office in Ottawa for the staff. Right? Yeah, a couple times arrived in Ottawa at the steering wheel pretty shiny from having started into that apple pie as I was driving.
So good.
Did you go up in the apple?
We didn't look like we could.
Because you used to be able to go up top, and from there you can see out over Lake Ontario, which was really quite unique. And now it's been a number of years since I've done that. And of course, climbing ladders isn't my strong suit anymore either. But
yeah.
But it's a great stopping spot. Great place to get out and rest your legs and buy a pie.
Absolutely. It was my first time there. It was Jess's first time and Lily's first time. So we all had a first as a family, which was pretty cool.
Excellent. I understand it was Jess's birthday yesterday. So we should say happy birthday to her on air.
Happy birthday to Jess. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. You survived another year with Grayden. We think that's really significant.
It's quite a miracle.
Yeah. Well, but the fact that you're away every day all day is
it helps, right?
Yeah.
I'm thankful for Jess every single day.
I think I'm a busy guy, and then I look at Grayden's schedule and run into him at events.
Half as busy.
Well, he's just going all the time, so it's great that we can sit down every Wednesday night for half an hour and rest.
It's pretty incredible. We've made this work for the past 4 years.
You also said yes to things. You said yes this year to Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
You and Jess are Dancing with the Stars.
I did that for Jess. I was like, no, I can't. There's no way. And Jess was like, I want to do this. I'm like,
You're
okay.
like me.
I have to.
Right.
This is like...
So Stephanie and I said yes too. More Stephanie said yes than Joe said yes.
Yeah.
And so we're doing Dancing with the Stars also. And so we've started our route towards being Dancing with Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the other people who are at the event are the stars.
Right? Well, someone's got to be because it's not me.
Better than just about anybody. Sitting down, I can dance. I'm not so good, but Stephanie's a professional musician and is very, very good at dancing. So she's going to make me look good. That's what I can count on. Right?
The same for me. I think Jess will take the majority of the skill and showcase that. We talked about me just.
I won't pry and ask you what song you're using or what type of dance.
No,
you're
we
using.
can't. Yeah, we have to keep that.
I think as we get closer, we may share with each of you how much practice we're getting in and how it's working. But we've shoved the coffee table against the wall, and anyway, we're getting there.
We've been doing a lot of practice, but I feel like every time I'm redoing and relearning, every time I feel like I've hit my
You've got to do it more often so that it becomes muscle memory.
I heard it at 35 you start losing brain cells, so that's what I'm blaming on, is the fact that I can't actually. I know it's been it's going. I'm going downhill, Joe.
I can't say I had any rhythm to begin with, right? And so trying to learn rhythm at 68 is not the easiest piece.
Oh my goodness, I don't think I'll ever get it. But I
lead well, and I think here in dancing, that's one of the things the man has to do is lead. Okay, so I got this covered. I'm going to be okay. So we're going to have fun.
September 8th, buy some tickets. It's going to be funny if it's not, well, at the very least.
If nothing else but to see Grayden and I stumble around at the Elgin County Railway Museum. A much bigger dance floor and a bigger crowd space this year. I did judge last year over at Queso, and it was quite a small dance floor. I'm looking to have way more room not to move around this year. Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be interesting. So we'll see you then if you make it out. And if not, it's going to be recorded by somebody.
Well, no, of course, these are the things that are on film for the rest of your life. You see them over and over again.
Yeah.
Remember the
treasured
fell
moments.
down at Dancing with the Stars? Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah.
It's just if they still had America's funniest home
folks.
videos. Yeah. Let's just be a part of it. Oh, man. Margaret Knight says, besides schools, we need a bus for appointments in London where a customer doesn't have to spend a whole day.
Yeah, well, that was part of the conversation I had with Josh Morgan yesterday, and we'd really like to get this done, but I cannot put it on the taxpayers of St. Thomas, nor can Mayor Morgan put it on the taxpayers of London. So we're asking the province to backstop this. We really do believe that a $10 fare or a $5 fare, we don't know which yet, but it is adequate to get someone to Fanshawe College or to university in London or to a medical appointment in London. And we are expecting right now, with the new industries happening around us, that we would run on the hour out of St. Thomas, on the half hour out of London, out of White Oaks Mall or the Southern Terminus. That's our thought. And we'd probably run from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. So it'd be 12 different ways back and forth each day. On top of that, when we originally set this up, we talked about, well, what about Elmer or what about Port Stanley? And we'd have to figure out that. But what we're concentrating on right now is that service between London and St. Thomas that is transferable. If you leave here and go to London, then you can take the TTC or the LTC as part of your ticket, right? And the same thing when you come back here from London, then the St. Thomas Transit locomotion is part of your fare coming back. So let us get there. We feel, I know that we've had this conversation on here. The mayor's felt confident about this for the last couple of years.
I know.
I'm still feeling confident about it, but we need to make it happen.
Right. Yeah. Beth Douglas is saying, hi, I see the gardens are all planted at the new apartments on Queen and a fire truck parked in the driveway.
I missed.
The Queen Street apartments, there's gardens planted in front of them, she's saying, and there's a fire truck over there. There's a pretty
good-sized parking lot there, but I don't expect too many people in the supportive housing units will have cars. We certainly have of late as council at things with the with apartment buildings gone down to even one dry parking spot per unit, and so certainly is enough parking for all that. We think that parking lot has excessive parking in it right now, so we'll see if we can't use it for maybe even more housing or something in the future.
Stay tuned. All right, and Jess says, thanks for the birthday wishes, Joe.
Oh, great. Oh, Jess and Lily are watching tonight. Okay, we better be on our best behavior.
Yeah, the mayor's update puts Lily to sleep some nights.
Oh, no, and it does that to most people, right? So perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jess, and happy birthday.
Faye Gallagher saying happy birthday, Joe, and happy birthday, Jess.
Yeah.
Got some fans waving to us from the park.
They were heckling, but they weren't doing too bad. So.
Oh. What is Paul saying? Oh, Paul says Grayden equals community builder. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
that's very lovely. And can't wait to see us both dance. He says he knows Joe won't cut any corners.
No. It'll be I'm quite looking forward to. I like to sing along to almost every song that I hear, and so I'll be singing while I dance it too. But I won't be doing it very loud. We'll let Stephanie do the good singing too. So
I never try and sing. Today I picked, Beth Douglas is saying this. Today I packed a lunch and took my dogs to Pinafore Park. We sat in the shade for an hour. The gardens are looking great. The city parks department is doing a terrific job. We've talked about this before. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, agreed with the Minecraft garden.
I love it so much.
And just the beautifulness of Pinafore Park. It is a fantastic rest spot. I know Stephanie's been running down the Whistle Stop Trail and then running Pinafore Park laps and then coming home. She just loves that park. So fantastic. Don't forget, folks, we've got Waterworks Park. We, of course, have One Password Park where so many kids go to play soccer every night. And that's where we will be holding our Canada Day celebrations this year from 4 o'clock on. Fantastic fireworks, I understand, because we can add some height and volume to our fireworks. It's going to be a great spot for them.
And I know there are some people that are worried about shade during the fireworks, but I should point out to folks that like during fireworks, there's no sun, so you don't need the shade.
Right.
I just want to point that out in case you're confused about that point.
Remember the morning fireworks we saw in February?
That was an event. That was an event.
But you're right. Thousands of people every night at One Password Park are sitting out there watching children play and adults play soccer. And you're right. There's no shade because the trees would be in the way of soccer too, right?
But there
is a great gazebo. There is a splash pad. Bring your lawn chair. Come for the evening.
Joking aside, sunscreen. Use some sunscreen. Bring a tent. Bring a tent. Pop your tent up.
Right. I still believe I'll put on my Speedo and run through the splash pad.
I'm waiting to see it. You've been threatening this for several years now.
Well, we've got the seniors picnic coming up too, and there's an opportunity for that.
Quite a moment.
Yes, I know. It's what we can do in this community.
Oh, and seniors. Speaking of seniors, the senior center. I was just talking to Rose Gibson, Councillor Gibson, yesterday, and she was saying, the senior center, they're actually not just for seniors anymore. They're 50 plus, and you can get amazing meals there.
Right.
And there's euchre tournaments. There's loads of events.
And we're really trying to make it the hot spot for all adults to be in our community. Please go see them. It's a very inexpensive price to join, and it lets you have access to all of the activities they have and all the different the woodworking shop, and all of the different things there are at the senior center. And we talked about the fireworks at One Password Park, and that brings me to Valley View, which is really just across the road. And we didn't think of this as a huge advantage, but the seniors at Valley View can go out front under their gazebo and watch the fireworks across the road this year. And we think that's an added bonus to having them at One Password Park.
And there was another request they put in, actually.
Right? There's a couple crosswalks across Burwell there. And some of the seniors are still very ambulatory, but they asked us, could we add just a few more seconds to the crosswalk so that crossing the road is safer? And we're certainly, we got that request yesterday, so we'll get at it as soon as we can. But yeah, it's perfect.
I love it. And then Paul just wanted to make sure you caught his pun about not cutting any corners in relation to the burgers at Wendy's.
Yeah.
You don't cut corners.
Yeah. We've been doing burgers a lot lately, Paul and I together. This has been a lot of fun. So.
And there was an amazing chamber barbecue, family barbecue we didn't talk about yet. Yeah. Because we missed last week. But yeah, just incredible. Hundreds of people out over by Fanshawe.
And we sack races and three-legged races and water balloon tosses like the old fun days we used to have at family reunions and such. It was a real good old-fashioned city picnic and chamber picnic.
I love it.
We're happy to go repeat it next year, I'm sure.
Pretty excited too. Yeah, I think the whole chamber family is
I'm just looking across the road. Wouldn't Westlake Evans Park be another great spot to have events like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's if you haven't been downtown, and I recognize maybe you haven't because it's been so hard with the construction on Talbot Street, but this park and the new mural and the new daycare center we talked about, childcare center we talked about behind us, and truly the new construction on Talbot Street is really coming to completion.
It's looking so
in
good.
The Mary Street through Mondamon Street piece. I don't get to watch big trucks anymore because we're now down to just setting up the sidewalks and the benches and stuff. But very shortly, we'll be working from here through to Ross Street. And so, yes, It's major surgery on the main street in our community, but it was well needed. We needed to do the major surgery underground and the design work uptown. And I've sure heard a lot of the different discussions about the road. The road will be exactly the same width as the road was.
I know there's been a lot. People are shocked.
There are people with keyboards who don't always have the ability to type properly. The parking spots, there will be more parking spots downtown than there was before we started the project. There'll be far more sidewalk space downtown because of the bullnoses, as they're called, or the jut outs at each of the intersections. There'll be lots of places to have great events downtown. And I know at our last DDB meeting, we talked about how do we really blow this up? How do we have a huge street party when Talbot Street is finished? So look forward to that. We're going to have, of course, the Downtown Nostalgia Nights on July 12th. January, it's a little cold for
July 17th.
July 12th. And from there, we'll be getting close each week to the finishing of the construction on Talbot Street. Can't wait to see it all done.
We got a question in about the playground at Orchard Park and when that'll be completed.
Well, there's a lot of work going on with the new basketball courts, the new pickleball courts, and the playgrounds moving at some of our parks. Look, this is a summer project, and supply of some of these things. You said we love what the Parks Department's been able to do with keeping Pinafore and Wireworks looking really good this year, and the new design over here. I cannot give you a date as to finish, but certainly this summer. As anything shows up, it gets installed.
Another question about the downtown, and with the new sidewalks being maybe a little bit wider, will the cafes and restaurants be able to put out front a bit of a patio?
We've already passed that bylaw, so you don't have to have a set patio, but every business downtown, including non-restaurants, can put a cafe set out front so as long as there still is a full sidewalk to walk on. So what a great place. Even if you're a dress store or a shoe store, put a chair and table up for your guests to stop and rest before they move on to their next spot. But all will be involved, and we'll certainly come along and share the good news and take some pictures of that and show people what the proper ways to do these things. But we want our downtown to be a very vibrant place.
And I think it's going to be.
The restaurants are the main set of that, but all are good.
Another question about food trucks and whether or not they're going to be at One Password during Canada Day. Are food trucks going to be allowed into the park during that time?
Who?
Food trucks?
They have the ability to be at any of our parks, but I'll tell you what's happening with the ice cream place.
The Icebox?
Icebox has taken over all of the concessions at all of our parks and has been doing just an excellent job. Just people approaching me saying, "Hey, we're out to Pinafore and the Icebox."
You could actually get some food there this time.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. Yeah. Everything's open.
It's been a struggle for the past couple of years.
Certainly, the Icebox will be up at One Password Park. The Kinsman and Optimist will also be running their normal barbecues as they would from 4:00 on at the fireworks site. But if there's room for a food truck, I imagine one might drop by.
Very good.
Yeah.
Another update is being requested on the hospice, the Elgin Hospice. It's going in by Waterworks Park.
Yes. It's incredible. The land, the city found a beautiful piece of land for the hospice and donated it to the hospice, right at the top of the hill going into Waterworks Park, between the school and on that beautiful hill overlooking Waterworks Park. And the hospice has started clearing land and moving forward with the build. And so we think over the next little while, we'll certainly see a hospice in this community. It's been a number of years, but don't stop helping. The hospice still needs lots of help in getting this project done and off the ground. So please help them too. We visited last week with Jeff Urick and the team at the hospital about the MRI machine too. And it's another great fundraiser that's going on. So let's all please help them also.
Absolutely. And we got a thanks in from Angela DeVries. She's the executive director at the Home Builders. And she's saying thanks to both of us for being out there and attending the barbecue last night. Well, thanks, Angela.
She
thanks
puts
for
on
the
a great show, but I'll tell you, without our Home Builders, we won't be ready for the growth that's happening in our community. And so we're talking to all of them. I kind of flirted from one home builder to the next last night and said, okay, what are you working on? How can you do this?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Terry, what else are we doing with Tiny Hope? And it just was a great night to go out and talk to everyone. So
it's just incredible. And if you haven't seen some of the pictures, drop by the site where Tiny Hope is getting built, which is just over there on Curtis. Right. It's starting to go. It's pretty exciting.
And there is work going on there. Perfect. Oh, my dreams are coming true, Grayden. So many good things in St. Thomas are actually happening and really moving quickly. So,
absolutely. Well, we're at the end of our time here.
It's incredible. When we just get talking about the good things happening in the city, half an hour is not enough. Right? No. So we have to do like 3 hours to talk about the good things.
We could easily.
Right? So please, but if you have any questions, please leave them on here. I know we have a lot of people watching Mayor's Update for days after we do the show.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to leave your questions on here because we will get to them next week. If you've got hard things or good questions you want to ask us, this is an open forum so that the mayor can share with you what's going on in our community and when we expect to do that.
Yep. Right? Love it.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thanks again to all our viewers, to our sponsors, and of course, Mayor Joe.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Have a great week.